Hello, Image Design. Let's get to work on our Unit 13 project where we create a planet and apply a pattern to it. So there's quite a few different steps here, but hang in there. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to open up one of the images from our files. So File, Open. Find your Image Design folder. And we want, it's not Unit 13. We are actually working with Unit 14. Your lesson asks you to open up Pattern 02. It will look like this. And then we're going to export it as a different type of file, a pattern file specifically for GIMP. So it's open. We don't need to change anything. We're just going to export as. And we are going to change the name to Planet Surface. Planet_surface. And change the extension type to a GIMP pattern. And so your file will end in PAT once you do that. Click Export. And then when you have the description option, all you have to do is delete that underscore so that it says Planet Surface, and then click OK or Export. Once you have that ready to go, we have to move our files, kind of like we did to get the Script Foo menu up where we wanted it to be. So open your File Explorer, find your Image Design folder, and go to Unit 14. Right-click on your Planet Surface file that you just saved and copy it. So copy the Planet Surface file that you just saved. Then, this is where we go on an adventure. If you need to pause the video in order to figure this out. Your location might also be a little bit different, so try to remember where it was based on the Script Foo process. All right, Windows C, Users. Find your username where your GIMP information is stored. Then we want App Data. If this doesn't show up, click View and click Hidden Items so that it shows. So App Data, Roaming, GIMP, 210, and then Patterns. So if you've gotten lost at all up here, I've got the listing. So Windows C drive, Users, Your Name, App Data, Roaming, GIMP, 210, and then Patterns. And then right-click and paste it here. And then it should be in this area. So you can paste files that are pattern files like this one, or you can also paste just regular PNGs or JPEGs. Those will work as well. Once you've done that, close out of this image, and then you can go to your Patterns tab over here, which is next to your Brushes tab, and look around and see if you see it. If you don't, click the refresh button, and if I hover, there we go. So Planet Surface. So mine is there now. Yours should be there as well. All right. So now for the project itself. And remember, this is the practice project. You need to use the different process with the different images for your project for turning in. But do follow along with this one so you know how to do the steps. File, New. We want to create an image file that is 800 by 800 pixels. And then click OK. Let me get that up a little bit. There, okay. So we've got our canvas, and now we are going to grab our fill bucket, select pattern fill, and then make sure that it is set to the Planet Surface pattern that you just made. Click in the background. Might take a second to load in. Once it is there, right click on your background and add an alpha channel so that it can be transparent. If you don't, it'll mess it up a little bit, but add an alpha channel. Then we are going to take this pattern and make it look 3D. So to do that, we're going to use our filters, and we want the map option, map object, filters, map object. Under here, there's a map to, and we want a planet, so it will be a sphere, which is what it looks like when it's circular. Click on transparent background, and it'll update over there on the side so it looks circular. And leave everything else kind of unclicked for now. Then under light, we don't want a light, we're going to add our own shadows. So light source, no light. And for our orientation, it should probably already be set up like this, but just in case it is not, make sure that X is set to 0.5, Y is set to 0.5, and Z is set to 0. Once that is all finished, you can click OK and let it process. And then you have your planet started and ready to go. Let's colorize our planet using the color menu, colors, colorize. And just pick a color that you like, that you want your planet to be. All it has to be is different than what was there before. So I'm going to go for pink because I like the way that looks, and I'm going to make mine a little bit darker. Okay, I have my planet. Now we want to make it look a little bit 3D, so we'll use the Script Foo menu to add an inner shadow. Script Foo, layer effects, inner glow, inner shadow. And for this one, we are going to set the color to black. The opacity should be set to around 90. If it's slightly off, that's okay. The contour should be linear. Noise should be 0. Blending mode should be multiply. Source will be edge. The choke, which is how sharp or blurry the shadow is, should be set to around 10. The size should be set to around 70. The offset angle to 180, which I think is all the way at the end, yes. And then offset distance will be set to 50. Okay, so lots of little changes there. Double check to make sure that you've got yours set up correctly. And then click OK. Give it some time to think and process. All right, so now we've got a shadow on there. Let's add a new layer, and we'll name this one Stars. Make sure it's transparent, click OK, and drag this below your planet because we want it to be behind the planet. On this layer, we are going to add a black fill. So grab your bucket tool, set it to foreground color fill, and set it to black. Then click into the background. And let's add a filter called Noise Hurl. And this will kind of give it the appearance of different stars. So Noise Hurl. And we want the randomization to be set to 3. So we don't want too many. We just want some. And then repeat will be set to 1. Click OK. Then click a new layer again. For this one, we are going to do clouds to kind of fade out some of the stars so they're not so intense. Then we are going to again fill it with black. And we're going to do another filter. This time we are going to work with, oh goodness, where was it located? We want clouds. Where did they go? One second, let me find it. Can't remember everything. Render, noise, there we go. I'm like, it's under noise somewhere, but it's a little bit different. Okay, so filters, render, noise, difference clouds. Okay, so it's buried under there. Filters, render, noise, difference clouds. And it'll get some cloudy looks on here, but we lost our stars. So what is something that we can do here? We can change our layer modes, which you learn about in your lesson. And the layer modes are over in the layers panel, and it's at the top. So you can see it says mode normal. That's your normal setup. If you click on that, you get lots of different options, lots of different ones. For our clouds, we want to set it to grain merge. And then it makes some parts see-through and some of it less see-through. So that looks pretty good. It makes some of our stars a little bit less intense and some of them about where they should be. And then let's change the color so it kind of matches up with our planet a little bit better. So colorize this as well. Colors, colorize. And choose a color that goes with what you've got for your planet. So I'm going to do kind of a purpley blue color. I'm going to lower the saturation, or yeah, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to lower the darkness or raise the darkness. You know, play around, figure out what works best. Okay, so now I've got my stars. I've got sort of galaxy effect going on here. The last thing that your lesson asks you to do is to add a flare. Click on the background inner shadow for your planet. You could rename this too, because this isn't background, this should be planet. So click on the inner shadow layer, which should be at the top, and then add a new layer, and this time name it flare. Make sure it's transparent, click OK. Flares can be found in the filter as well. This one is under light and shadow, and we want lens flare. So filters, light and shadow, lens flare. On here, you are going to click the little arrow. What this does is it lets you click anywhere on the canvas to create a flare effect. And then click OK. Oh, it's not working. So let me figure out, oh, I remember what I need to do. First, you need to add a black bucket fill again. So on the flare layer, add a black bucket, then do your filter for your lens flare. So there's always a little step that you gotta have. There we go, now we've got it. Okay, so black fill for your flare layer. Click on the little arrow and then click around. And you can see how it changes its position based on where you click. So find something that you like, kind of like mine right there. Click OK, but we can't see our planet anymore. So we're going to use our layer modes to help us see. And we are specifically going to use the layer mode for screen. What that does is it takes everything that is black and it makes it see-through, like so. And so now you can see that here. And you can see a little bit of the shine. Once you have this, go ahead and save your work. And you can save it as a planet for Unit 13, first and last name, and then also export a JPEG. For your project, you'll follow the same process, but use different pattern images to work with, and then, you know, adjust where your flare is, choose different colors, maybe adjust how intense some of the filters are, and have fun.